Hi everyone. So I'm at Planet Fitness and I'll be working out here throughout the night. Things have been going all right for me. I've adapted to my situation. I've learned how to utilize resources in the community. Going to the public libraries during the day. And then going to the gyms at night, eating at the Market Basket Cafe. And this is what I've been doing for the last year. Car or no car, that's just what I've been doing to get by. If people have followed me for the last year, they could see how badly, and badly is an understatement, how my car was targeted with the parking tickets, the mechanical problems that it had, to the car accident when it got smashed when it was parked. Eventually the mechanical problems became the car didn't start, and then eventually it just didn't start at all anymore, even with a jump start. And then I had to get rid of it. Oh, and then what I went through with Weasley, I almost didn't get the money for the car that I gave him my car and I was supposed to get money. I almost didn't get it. I did because I fought them. And now, I got to renew my license in August, and I got to pay all these parking tickets that I never should have gotten to begin with. I tried to appeal them, but, they didn't even give me a time to meet in person to appeal it. They just dismissed the appeals and just said, no, you got to pay. I struggled a lot. And ultimately what happened now is that I have to take public transportation as a homeless woman, and that is really hard and dangerous. And today I really saw that, I go to one of the Planet Fitnesses in Cambridge, and Cambridge has a large homeless population, and often I have to avoid other homeless people because people have a stereotype of what homeless people look like, and I don't fit into that stereotype. And there's a lot of ignorant, evil people that want me to suffer more and think that I should go to a shelter and believe that I shouldn't eat every day or shower every day. Like they're mad that my basic needs are met every day. They think that they shouldn't be met. They're mad that I'm not a drug addict and suffering on the street like other homeless people. And I have had homeless people approach me on the street, and I've had to keep my distance from them. When I ride the elevator, I usually ride it by myself to avoid any contact with anybody in the public. And tonight there were several homeless people riding the elevator, and I had to just kind of wait for them to go on the elevator and go to the elevator by myself. But it was scary. They were really under the influence. They reeked of alcohol, and they were high as a kite. And here I am, a single woman, and these men who are under the influence, and it's scary to me. I rode the blue line. It must have been about 11:30. It was packed. I don't usually see the blue line packed like that, like on the blue line train packed almost any time, especially not that late at night. It's not the norm. I can't say it never happens, but it's not the norm. And it was, like I said, packed. All the seats, everybody was sitting, and there were plenty of people standing because there weren't enough seats for the people. And, it was just, I had to be aware of my surroundings. There was a lot of people. I had to be make sure like no one bumps into me or sits too close to me or tries to steal from me, because I'm carrying my belongings now. So it's scary. And then when I get off the train, there's more people in the elevators and I'm avoiding them. And then they ask me where the bus station is, and I don't answer them because I listen to my gut. I'm like, these people know where they're going. They're just targeting me because I'm a homeless woman. And so it's scary to me. It was not a good commute at night. I worry. Now I have my dog, so I have to take care of him, worry about him, especially after the incident that happened in the escalator back in October. We always ride the elevator, and I'm always trying to be extra careful with him that nothing ever happens to him again like that. And I'm exhausted. I'm always exhausted. There are times where I've fell asleep on buses, and that's completely not safe, and it's happened by accident. I'm so scared, and this has been going on for a year. It shouldn't have happened to begin with. If people actually look at the court documents and hear my story, it was an unlawful eviction. And now, there's no reason for me to be homeless anymore. I have a RAF check that can be used for housing. And there's plenty of landlords that would take RAF, and I haven't been able to find one in the Boston area. It's strange. We'll just call it that. I've worked my whole life, 13 years in the field, my first job when I was 15. Now it's like I had a hard time finding any job, even when I went to a temp agency. And the problem is it's hard to find a job when you're unhoused, that in itself is really hard. But I'm a professional. I worked in my field, like I said, 13 years. I have a bachelor's degree. For this to be, I should be able to work full time. I'm fully capable of working full time. I don't need to go on disability. I'm healthy. I don't do drugs. There's just absolutely no reason for me to be in this situation anymore. It's been long enough. It was March of last year. Here we are in April. This is too dangerous. This is too inhumane. This needs to end before something terrible happens to me. Because let me tell you, I'm scared being out there. I don't got my car anymore. It's a whole nother level of dangerous and difficult, So we'll just see how this weekend goes. All right, thank you for listening. Have a good night.